on the Hawkeyes Sports Network. From Learfield, Iowa Hawkeye Softball is brought to you by Homewood and Home 2 Suites, preferred hotel of the Hawkeye Radio Network. Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Oak Knoll, an active life care community by University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. And by Iowa City Tire and Service, a proud supporter of Hawkeye softball. Iowa City Tire, where service actually comes first.
Live from the Eichelberger Field in Champaign, Illinois, it's time for Iowa playoff softball. It is your Iowa Hawkeyes against the Northwestern Wildcats in round 2 of the Big Ten tournament. Hi, everybody. My name is Lucas Strain, and you're listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Iowa is coming off a huge 7-1 upset win over the 8th-seeded Maryland Terrapins in the first round of the tournament yesterday. The win marked the first time since 2018 that Iowa has made it past the first round of the tournament. It's the first time making it this far for the fifth-year coach Renee Gillespie. Coach Gillespie has 114 wins in her 5 seasons at the helm of the Hawkeyes. Iowa now reaching 31 wins on the season, the most in program history. So how things went down yesterday. Iowa's first time through the order, 1 through 9, everyone got out. It was 9 up, 9 down over the first 3 innings of work. But then in the top of the 4th inning, Nia Carter got the hitting started, poking a single out to the left field. Later came around and scored on a sacrifice fly from Denali Lecker to deep right center field, scoring the first run of the ballgame. Maryland eventually tied things up at 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Iowa answered the very next inning on a sacrifice fly to center field from Tori Bennett, again scoring Nia Carter. Hawks took a 2-1 lead, and then on the very next pitch, Lecker laces a double down the left field line, scoring Tatiana Roman from first base, and Iowa goes up 3-1. Iowa then scored 4 more in the 7th to blow the game wide open. They got the 4 runs via a pinch hit, bases-loaded walk from Tristan Doster, a 2-run double from Carter into left center field, and an RBI single from Bennett. The double from Carter in the 7th inning was record-breaking, as it was the 94th hit on the year for her, and she now stands alone as Iowa's all-time single-season hit leader. 94 hits on the year, most in a single season for an Iowa Hawkeye batter. Jalen Adams started in the circle, and she threw a gem. She went the complete game, allowing just 1 run, although the run was not earned, and gave up only 3 hits. Her performance in the first round lowered her ERA on the season to 1.93, which is 5th best in the Big Ten. Carter and Bennett both tallied multiple hits yesterday for the Hawkeyes, and Carter, Bennett, and Denali Lecker all drove in a pair. Iowa will be facing the top-seeded Northwestern Wildcats. Northwestern is 35-11 on the year and 20-3 in the conference. Their 20 Big Ten wins helped them secure their 2nd Big Ten title in a row. It is their 9th title in program history and the 4th for head coach Kate Drohan. Drohan, who was just named the Big Ten Coach of the Year, the 5th time she's won the award. Northwestern also saw 7 players earn postseason recognition, Nikki Cochran and Danielle Williams both named first team of the Big Ten. Williams just earned her 100th career victory in the circle last weekend. The Wildcats are led by a prolific offense, scoring just under 8 runs a game in conference play. As a team, they led the Big Ten in a few offensive categories, hitting .320 as a team, while stealing 29 bases in conference play. However, if there is a spot to beat them, it's away from their home field. They went a perfect 10-0 at home this year, all 3 of their Big Ten losses coming on the road. One of those losses came at the hands of your Iowa Hawkeyes. During the first weekend of April, Iowa gave Northwestern a run for their money. In Game 1 of the series, the Hawks lost a 10-inning ball game. It was a game where Iowa had plenty of opportunities but left 13 runners on base. And then in Game 3 of the series, Tristan Doster hit a bases-loaded walk-off single in the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 outs to give Iowa the 6-5 win and hand Northwestern their first loss in conference play. So while Northwestern may have ran away with the Big Ten title, they don't play as well away from their home field, and Iowa has already played them tough a couple of times this year. It is the third second-round game of the day in Big Ten play so far today. Both of the first 2 games, they finished on walk-off hits. Minnesota walked off Ohio State in the morning matchup in the bottom of the 8th inning. And then just about, I'd say 20 minutes ago, Sarah Stone of the Indiana Hoosiers had a no-doubt home run into center field in the bottom of the 9th as Indiana completes the comeback and defeats the Penn State Nittany Lions. So Iowa and Northwestern have a bit to live up to as both of the first 2 games have finished in dramatic fashion. But it's second-round action between the Iowa Hawkeyes and Northwestern Wildcats. Starting lineups are coming up next.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
Hi, Hawkeye fans. My name is Denali.
And I'm Briley, and we're members of your Iowa Hawkeye softball team.
Our team is striving to be number 1.
And that's why we trust our vehicles to Iowa City Tire and Service, the number 1 automotive shop in Iowa City.
Where service actually comes first.
Iowa City Tire and Service, where their customers become friends because they treat you like family. Find them at 410 Kirkwood Avenue or online at ictire.com. Proud sponsors of Hawkeye softball.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Hi, Hawkeye fans. My name is Denali.
And I'm Briley, and we're members of your Iowa Hawkeye softball team.
Our team is striving to be number 1.
And that's why we trust our vehicles to Iowa City Tire and Service, the number 1 automotive shop in Iowa City.
Where service actually comes first.
Iowa City Tire and Service, where their customers become friends because they treat you like family. Find them at 410 Kirkwood Avenue or online at ictire.com. Proud sponsors of Hawkeye softball.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Round 2 action, third game of the day. Iowa Hawkeyes advancing to the second round of the Big Ten tournament for the first time since 2018. And how do they get rewarded? Well, you get to play the top seed, the regular season champions in the Northwestern Wildcats. But remember, Iowa's coming off a big 7-1 win yesterday, in which they scored 6 runs over the final 2 innings, and handed Northwestern one of their 3 Big Ten losses this year. Tristan Doster, a 2-out, bases-loaded, bottom of the 7th inning, walk-off single to give Northwestern what at the time was their first loss of conference play and give Iowa a 6-5 win. Now it's time for our starting lineups. Iowa rocking essentially the exact same thing as yesterday. Leading off will be Nia Carter. Nia Carter, who is the all-time hit leader in a single season for the Iowa Hawkeyes, 94 of them on the year. Yesterday went 2 for 4 at the plate, scored 3 times and drove in a pair. Did just about everything you could ask for the Hawkeyes offensively. She's leading off. Batting second is Tatiana Roman in center. She had a beautiful sliding catch when there was the bases loaded and nobody out. She had a beautiful sliding catch in shallow center and quickly relayed the ball in to the infield. And nobody was able to score on the play. What was a defensive gem from the Gold Glover out in center field. Tori Bennett is batting third. Has been hitting 3-hole. Back into the 3-hole as of late and dropped down into the 6th spot a couple weeks back, but has earned her keep in the 3-hole. Batting cleanup is Denali Lecker, the DP for Iowa. She'll be trying to do the same thing she did yesterday, went 1 for 2 and drove in a pair. Drove in the first run of the game for the Hawkeyes and also laced a double down the left field lines to score another. Grace Baines bats 5th, playing second base. Sammy Diaz bats 6th over at first. Briley Klosterman is batting 7th in left field. Avery Jackson, who's been very strong defensively for Iowa and is starting to showcase some bunting for base hits ability. She's batting 8th and playing 3rd. And rounding out the lineup is freshman catcher Skyland Pogue, who served as the flex yesterday as the starting battery mate. Will hit for herself, will hit in the spot in today's game because Iowa's starting pitcher is Brianna Vasquez. Vasquez, who served as the Iowa ace for much of the season. He's struggled as of late. We'll tell you about it, a little bit more about her in just a little bit. But struggled as of late, has slid back into the 2 spot. But Coach Gillespie still feels confidence in her and is bringing her out here for this second round matchup. Northwestern offensively, Skylar Schellmeyer will lead off. Schellmeyer, who is a threat to swipe any bag that she sees, has 17 stolen bases on the season, had a couple of them against Iowa in that series the first weekend of April. So Schellmeyer will lead off. Kansas Robinson, who was named to the Big Ten All-Freshman team, bats second as the DP. Jordan Rudd is batting 3rd and catching. Hannah Cady is batting cleanup and playing 3rd base. Nikki Cochran is batting 5th in the prime RBI spot and playing 1st. She was just recently named first team All-Big Ten. Batting 6th in left field is number 9, Angela Zedak. Batting 7th at shortstop, Maeve Nelson. Batting 8th out in right field is Kelsey Nader. And rounding out the lineup at second base is Grace Nito. The starting pitcher in today's game for Northwestern is number 15, Lauren Boyd. Lauren Boyd, a 7-4 record on the year with a 2.03 ERA and 89 2/3 innings pitched. She has the lowest ERA on the team, but is more seen as the second pitcher on this rotation, Danielle Williams being number 1. So Northwestern head coach Drohan is trying to sneak a game with her number 2, trying to save the ace for at least the semifinals. as we are just about getting ready to get underway here in round 2 of the Big Ten tournament. Hi, everybody. I'm Lucas Strain. You're listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network with Learfield. Top of the first inning, Nia Carter is set to lead things off. Lauren Boyd is in the circle. Iowa's wearing their gray uniforms today. Gray tops with white pants, as Northwestern's wearing their all-purple. Purple jerseys, purple pants, purple socks. Hawkeyes gray stirrups to match the gray jerseys. As Lauren Boyd misses low on pitch number 1, we are officially underway. 5:16 start time, about 46 minutes later than where we were officially scheduled to start this game. As Carter pokes the 1-0 pitch foul, counts 1-1. It's the late start time because in the first game of the day, the Minnesota Golden Gophers walked off Ohio State 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. And then just about half an hour ago, the Indiana Hoosiers and Sarah Stone had a walk-off home run to center field as Indiana walked off Penn State 5-4 in the bottom of the 9th. Carter bunts one foul, counts 1-2. So both of the first 2 games have gone into extras and finished via the walk-off. Already 4 walk-offs in this Big Ten tournament. Iowa hoping that does not happen in this game, as any walk-off would be hit by Northwestern. The 1-2 to Nia Carter misses outside, and the count's 2-2. Again, Nia Carter, the best hitter in this Iowa lineup, 94 hits on the season. Most hits in a single season in Iowa softball program history. The 2-2 tries to check her swing, but she can't. Goes around, and that's the first strikeout of the day for Lauren Boyd. Lauren Boyd, who finished the year with 79 strikeouts to just 27 walks, picks up her 80th on the season. And it brings up Tatiana Roman. Tatiana Roman for Iowa went 1 for 4 yesterday while scoring a run. This one hits her on the jersey. So, Tatiana Roman follows up the strikeout with the hit by pitch. And the Hawkeyes have their first base runner. Roman would have had an RBI single in yesterday's game in the 7th inning. She drove it up the middle, but our home plate umpire said that she hit the ball when she was out of the box. So it officially went down as a strikeout as she had 2 strikes on her already. And the runner was sent back to third. And her RBI single was taken off the board. Tori Bennett is at the plate for the Hawkeyes. She enjoyed a multi-hit game yesterday. Just like Nia Carter did, just a little bit of everything for the Hawkeyes. Watches strike 1 on the off-speed, 0-1. She went 2 for 3 yesterday. She drove in a pair. Including what was the eventual winning run on the sacrifice fly in the 6th, and had an RBI single in the 7th. Skies a fly ball to deep left field, back at the wall, but it's not going to leave the yard. The catch is made. Roman does not tag from first. And that's a long fly ball for out number 2. Denali Lecker will hope to keep the Hawkeyes offense alive, as there are 2 away. Lecker yesterday went 1 for 2. Had a pair of RBIs. The first one was, of course, Iowa's first run of the game. As she watches first pitch called strike on the inner half, 0-1. Had a sacrifice fly in the top of the 4th and then an RBI double in the top of the 6th. And she sends one out towards shallow right field. Nader takes a couple steps back, but then comes on to make the catch. Quick inning. Iowa gets 1 runner via the hit by pitch, but other than that, nothing else. Iowa goes scoreless. Northwestern's coming to bat for the first time today. You're listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Bottom of the first inning, Brianna Vasquez is the starting pitcher in this game for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Brianna Vasquez, who is really considered the ace of this team for much of the season, but has struggled as of late. Her stats on the season, a 16-8 record. The 16 wins are the most on the team, with a 2.57 ERA over 139 innings. Now, I say that she's been struggling as of late because over her last 5 starts, she's gone 11 2/3 innings, giving up 19 runs. That's good for an 11.40 ERA. In her last start last weekend against Wisconsin, she pitched Game 2 of the series. Got just 1 out in the start and gave up 4 runs in the first inning. She will be facing Skylar Schellmeyer to lead off the bottom of the first. Schellmeyer watches ball 1 outside, 1-0. Schellmeyer, who was just named second team All Big Ten, is usually causing chaos up in the top of this Northwestern order. Watches ball 2 miss outside, counts now 2-0. Vasquez into the motion, and she misses up high. 3 straight balls to start her pitching day. Schellmeyer this year is hitting .338. Best batting average on the team. However, pretty much every single one of her hits is just a single. And the 3-0 is up high, so it's a 4-pitch walk to start out Brianna Vasquez's day. Iowa defensively, Briley Klosterman's in left, Tatiana Roman is in center, and Nia Carter is out in right. Avery Jackson at third, Tori Bennett at shortstop, Grace Baines at second, Sammy Diaz at first, and Skylan Pogue is behind the plate. Kansas Robinson watches strike 1, so Brianna Vasquez gets her first strike thrown of the game. Kansas Robinson this year is a .300 hitter. As the 0-1 misses a little bit low, and the count's now 1-1. One ball and 1 strike to the Northwestern 2-hole hitter in Kansas Robinson. And she sends a fly ball into center field. Tatiana Roman barely has to move, makes the catch. And there is the first out of the inning. Jordan Rudd, he will now bat for the Hawks. Jordan Rudd hitting .317. You're going to hear a lot of threes to start out these batting averages when I list these Northwestern batters. 6 players are hitting .300 or better. One of them being, of course, Jordan Rudd, the Northwestern 3-hole. Is the leading RBI batter on this team with 41 of them. Ball 1 misses low and inside, 1-0. .317 batting average with 8 home runs. And those team leading 41 RBIs. Ahead 1-0. And now Schellmeyer's trying to take second. Throw is in the dirt. Slides in safely. I think Schellmeyer would have beaten it out anyway. That goes down as a stolen base. The pitch to Rudd was called strike. So the count's now 1-1. But Northwestern has a runner in scoring position. 1 out, runner on second, 1-1 count. And this one's lined out towards center. Roman comes on, makes the catch. Schellmeyer can't go anywhere. It's hit too shallow. And Tatiana Roman's now caught a pair of balls out in center field for the 2 outs in the inning. Hannah Katie will look to pick up Schellmeyer, who stands on second base after she drew the leadoff walk and stole second. Hannah Katie is hitting .271. Swings at first pitch, changeup. It pulls it foul, 0-1. 26 RBIs on the year, 6 home runs for Hannah Katie, the Northwestern third baseman. The 0-1, he's fouled down the left side, so Brianna Vasquez is quickly ahead 0-2. First inning is often the key for Brianna Vasquez. How is her day going to go? We talked about the opening. The last time she started, failed to get out of the first, only got 1 out, gave up 4 runs. Looking better as of now. Is ahead 0-2, tries to get Katie to chase on the fastball upstairs. But it's in Katie's eyes, and she doesn't offer. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Iowa coming off of a 9-8 upset win. As this one's fouled off the netting. Counts 1-2. Iowa looking to pull off another upset over the top-ranked Northwestern Wildcats. Northwestern, who won the regular season title in the Big Ten, going 20-3, but one of those losses coming at the hands of these Iowa Hawkeyes. Brianna Vasquez was the starting pitcher in that game that Iowa won. The 1-2 is in shallow left field, and a nice jumping catch from the shortstop, Tori Bennett. And the Hawkeyes get out of the inning. No runs on no hits, no errors. Northwestern leaves a runner in scoring position after 1 complete. The Nerfy hits. We're headed to the top of the second. You're listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/Iowans win.
Top of the second inning. Due up 5-6-7 in the Hawkeye order. Grace Bain, Sammy Diaz, and Briley Klosterman. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Take a closer look and you'll discover the many connections you have to corn. And those connections translate into wins for farmers and wins for all Iowans. Share your winning moments using hashtag #IowansWin. So Grace Baines will lead off the top of the second for the Hawkeyes. Baines, the second baseman. She could really use a hit, went 0 for 4 yesterday against Maryland. Last weekend against Wisconsin, she saw a 5-game hitting streak get snapped. And since it's been snapped, she's gone 0 for 9. It was a 5-game streak in which she went 1 for 3 in all 5 games. But has gone 0 for 9 ever since that happened. Lauren Boyd's back out and into the circle. and throws strike one on the inner half, 0-1. It was a game in which Iowa won yesterday by a final score of 7-1, but the final score looks skewed compared to how the game actually went. Strike two is on the inside corner, 0-2. It was a 1-1 game. Heading into the sixth inning, before Iowa scored 6 over the final 2 frames. The 0-2 skips across the dirt, and it's 1-2. Really, we've seen that Lauren Boyd has just attacked the bottom of the zone in her first inning plus in this afternoon's game. Does not want Iowa to take a ball in the top part of the zone and take it out of the yard. Here's one that's left up in the zone, and Baines punches it out into right field for a base hit. Hits off the diving glove of Nito. But Grace Baines leads off the top of the second with a single into right. It was an off-speed pitch that was just left up into the zone. Baines was able to keep her weight back and drive it the other way. Nito tried to snap it off of the short hop, but the dive came up just a little short. Sammy Diaz watches a first pitch ball outside, 1-0. Diaz went 1 for 4, or excuse me, she went 1 for 3 yesterday. The one hit was an infield single. It was hit just like off the end of her bat in a little pop fly in a bit of no man's land. The 1-0 runs inside, and the count's now 2-0. To Sammy Diaz. Grace Baines is on first. And this one runs upstairs, nearly hits Diaz in the head, just backs out of the way. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. Sammy Diaz, the leading walk batter on this team, draws the most walks, was top 10 for much of the season in the Big Ten, drawing walks this year. The 3-0 catches the inside corner. Diaz thought it could have been ball 4, took a half a step towards first base. But it was a called strike. Counts 3-1. Top of the second inning, nobody out. 9th-seeded Iowa looking to upset the top-ranked Northwestern Wildcats. The 3-1. It's a changeup that runs away, goes low and inside for ball 4. Hawkeyes have 2 on, nobody out. Again, Iowa lost 2 of 3 to Northwestern earlier this year in Iowa City. It was Iowa's second home Big Ten series of the year. And it went down a very similar way to how their series against Maryland went earlier this year. Briley Klosterman swings and fouls off the first pitch into the netting, 0-1. In both situations, Iowa lost the first 2 games of the year, the first 2 games of the series, before winning Game 3 via a walk-off single. And I only point that out because Iowa defeated Maryland yesterday in the first round. So if the trend were to continue, they would knock off the Big Ten champions in Northwestern here today. Misses low and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Briley Klosterman is hitting .250 this year. Watches this one outside. Or no, it's called strike. I thought it was a little bit outside, but our umpire with his delayed strike call raises right fist into the air and signals strike 2. So the count's 1-2 to Briley Klosterman. And fly ball, left center field. Diving Shellmeyer, she makes the catch. Throwing to second to get the tagging Baines is late. She's able to get back towards second, but a phenomenal catch from Skylar Shellmeyer. And she's pumped up. That had a double written all over it off the bat. Briley Klosterman drives it out into left center field. And the speedy Shellmeyer sprints over and makes the catch full extension. And then tries to throw into second while still sitting on the grass. But Grace Baines was able to scamper back. Somebody's got to alert Sports Center on that catch from Skylar Shellmeyer. Avery Jackson shows bunt, pulls back, but it's in the zone. Avery Jackson, who's becoming pretty much just a bunter for this team, gets this one in fair territory just in front of the plate. Barehanded pickup by the catcher, who throws over to retire Jackson. It'll go down as a sacrifice. But Avery Jackson was about half a step away from turning it into a hit. She has a pair of bunt singles in each of the last two games. But the runners are now at second and third with 2 outs, and Skyland Pogue is at the plate looking to give Iowa their first lead in this game. First runs of the game. Watches strike one. On the outside black, counts 0-1. Skyland Pogue has really inserted herself into the lineup as the Iowa starting catcher. Has started 6 of the last 7 games behind the plate, but since becoming the starter, still looking for her first hit. Runs inside 1-1. Well, she catches most of the games. She oftentimes will either get pinch hit for or will just serve as the flex and not get to bat at all. She doesn't have a hit since March 11th, so 2 months to the day. It's the last time the freshman from Eureka, Missouri has gotten a base knock. Watches strike two. And the count's 1-2. You thought maybe Coach Gillespie was going to go with the pinch hitter early to try and get some runs on the board and take the lead. Counts 1-2 and called strike 3 across the outside corner. Hawkeyes got a pair of chances, but a diving catch from Skylar Shellmeyer saves the inning defensively for Northwestern. After 1.5, we're still scoreless. It's 5-6-7-2 up for Northwestern. You're listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network.
Hi, Hawkeye fans. My name is Denali.
And I'm Briley, and we're members of your Iowa Hawkeye softball team.
Our team is striving to be number one.
And that's why we trust our vehicles to Iowa City Tire and Service, the #1 automotive shop in Iowa City.
Where service actually comes first.
Iowa City Tire and Service, where their customers become friends because they treat you like family. Find them at 410 Kirkwood Avenue or online at ictire.com. Proud sponsors of Hawkeye Softball.
Bottom of the second. Iowa Hawkeyes, Northwestern Wildcats. Iowa's got their first hit of the game last half inning. But Grace Baines was stranded on third base. Iowa had runners on second and third with 2 outs, but Skyland Pogue watches 3 straight fastballs cross the plate to go down looking. Brianna Vasquez is back out for her second inning of work. After in the first, she got 3 fly balls after a leadoff walk, a leadoff 4-pitch walk. But 4 flyouts helped her get out of the inning. Nikki Cochran will lead off the bottom of the second for the Wildcats. She's swinging first pitch, fouls it off the netting. Counts 0-1. Nikki Cochran is hitting .333 this year. 3 home runs, 30 RBIs. Was recently named first team All Big Ten. Watches ball 1, pass at her eyes, 1-1. What is a bit of a cloudy day in Champaign, Illinois. The Illinois Fighting Illini acting as the host in this tournament. They have their second round game later tonight. They get to serve as the nightcap. The count's 2-1. Illinois upsetting the 5th-seeded Wisconsin 8-4 yesterday in the first round. Here's a fly ball, foul territory. Jackson gives chase but runs into the netting. And the count evens at 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to Nikki Cochran, who's leading off the second. Both the 2 and 3 seeds have already advanced in this one. Iowa looking to make it so the top 3 teams are not the ones there. Fly ball, deep center field, back at the track, and the catch is made by Tatiana Roman, crashing into the wall. Tatiana Roman says, "Watch this, Skylar Schellmeyer. This is how you make a catch out in center field." Makes the catch on the track while slamming into that padding out in center. And that's the first out of the second inning. Tatiana Roman, who's put on a clinic defensively all season for the Hawkeyes, is showcasing just how good she is, as a "Let's Go Hawks" chant has started in the crowd. Foul ball is pulled down the left field line off the bat of Angela Zedak. Nikki Cochran thought she had the home run. Taking a peek at the replay, after she rounds first, just throws her arms up into the air and has a little smile come across her face, as this one is fouled into the netting, and the count's 0-2. Both center fielders already putting on a show. In last game, we saw the Penn State center fielder and Lilia Crothamill make what might have been the catch of the year, as the 0-2 is upstairs 1-2. In the bottom of the 8th inning, in a tie game with 2 outs, a ball was hit in a pretty similar spot to which we just saw with Roman, but it was a little bit farther back, and Crothamill made the catch literally bang, bang as her glove ran into the wall. This one's pulled foul, count still 1-2. But she made the catch to retire the third out in what would have been a walk-off hit. But she kept her team alive. Penn State eventually going on to lose the next inning on a walk-off home run. They went over the head of Lilia Crothamill out in center. The 1-2 is pulled foul again. And it is still 1-2. Angela Zedak, the leading home run hitter in this Northwestern team. Fouls this one off the netting again. And the count is still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Who's going to win the battle? Zedak, 11 home runs on the year. Was the only Wildcat to even reach double digits. As time is called by the Drohan sisters, I believe, and Zedak appears to be cramping a little bit, is stretching out her left leg. Maybe something tightened up on that swing. It was a nice curveball on the outside from Brianna Vasquez. It was outside the zone. And Zedak sat back on it and spoiled it back into the netting. And maybe when she took her stride, something kind of locked up on her. But she appears to be okay. I want to see Brianna Vasquez put something up in the zone. Put it up in the lettering. You've thrown everything low so far in this AB. Let's see if we can get a surprise upstairs. This one is fouled back again. It was a curveball even farther out of the zone. So again, we see that Brianna Vasquez wants to keep the ball low. And is trying to keep it out of the zone, trying to get Angela Zedak to swing and miss. Brianna Vasquez sometimes does run into the home run problem. As here's a fly ball back towards center field. Roman's going back at the wall, at the track, and it's off the top of the wall. Angela Zedak stops at second base. That's a one-out stand-up double. And Northwestern has a runner in scoring position with one out. That one missed going over the fence by, I'd say, about 6 inches. Yeah, looking at the replay, by about 6 inches. And Tatiana Roman was back, and say this fence was, I'd say, a foot and a half farther back. Roman's able to make the catch, but she ran into the wall. Here's a one-out changeup to Maeve Nelson, the Northwestern shortstop. It's a couple of hard-hit balls to lead off this second inning against Brianna Vasquez. Here's another changeup that is fouled off the end of the bat, and the count is 0-2. Brianna Vasquez, who's been pumping it into the zone in this game, we see command as something that sometimes will lose her. Sometimes has a bit of an issue walking players. And here's that fastball upstairs. But Maeve Nelson doesn't chase it. So now I expect to see that curveball that starts in the zone and moves out of it at the last second. Try and keep it away from Maeve Nelson. The 1-2. Called strike 3. The screwball catches on the inside corner. And Brianna Vasquez has her first strikeout of the afternoon. I think that Maeve Nelson was thinking along the same lines I was. That we were probably gonna see a curveball on the outer half, and said we see the screwball attack the inside quarter. 2 away, runner on second, and Kelsey Nader watches strike 1 on the fastball. Nader is hitting .310 this year, a .380 slugging, and a .380 OBP, and a .397 slugging. The 0-1 misses up high, and the count's 1-1. Kate Drohan, who won the Big Ten Coach of the Year, her second straight season winning the award and the 5th time she's won it in her career. Led this Northwestern team to back-to-back titles. Line drive, single into right, bounces in front of Carter. She throws home. The run will score. Pogue throws back to second base. And sliding as safely as Kelsey Nader. It's a 2-out RBI single into right field. And Northwestern's taking a 1-0 lead. A line drive out into right, which dropped on one hop in front of Nia Carter, who makes the throw home. And it was picked up by Skyland Pogue, who didn't even go for the tag at the plate, immediately picks it up and throws back towards second. Try and get the runner. I think they might be looking at this play to see if Kelsey Nader was safe at second. It's really close. But nonetheless, Northwestern is taking a 1-0 lead. Damage done by the bottom of the order. Iowa is officially challenging the play. Challenge is not something that we've seen very often this season. The one challenge that really comes to mind is a challenge that Coach Gillespie had at Drake. And I'm looking at the replay. If we look at our view from the camera behind home plate, it does look like Torrey Bennett applies the tag before Nader slides into second. But the run scores. Nonetheless, we'll wait to see what this review yields. Skyland Pogue was the one who threw back towards second base. She didn't even think about applying the tag to the runner in Zedak. I think maybe if she picks it up, the throw was just to the right side of the plate. Maybe if she picks it up, she might have a chance of tagging out Zedak and keeping the game scoreless. However, she picks it up and throws immediately to second base. They're still looking at it, are the umpires. So we will wait to see how this is officially ruled. I am looking at this, and we're slowing it down frame by frame. And it does look like Torrey Bennett tags Kelsey Nader on the back of her left thigh before she slides into the plate. So the umpires are coming out. We'll wait the official call. And they're going to call her safe. So they do not agree with what I had thought. Kelsey Nader stands on second base after the throw. And she gets the RBI single to put Northwestern on the board. So Northwestern is leading at 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Grace Nito is the scheduled batter, but we're going to have a pinch hitter. Kendall Peterson will pinch hit for the Wildcats. 2 outs, runner on second. And Vasquez throws a first pitch strike on the fastball at the knees, 0-1. In what is Game 3 of second-round action in Champaign, Illinois. And here's a fly ball, but yanked foul over the third base dugout. And Brianna Vasquez is quickly ahead 0-2. And what we've seen pretty repeatedly is when Vasquez gets ahead 0-2, first pitch she wants to throw is that fastball up and in the eyes. Try and get Northwestern batters to chase. Here's the 0-2, and it is the fastball upstairs, but Peterson checks her swing and just gets a piece of it. Count is still 0-2. So we saw that fastball. Probably didn't get as high as Vasquez wanted it to. We'll see if she goes back to it now. But remember, earlier in the inning, she got her first strikeout on a screwball on the inside corner. The 0-2 is a ball outside on the curve. Skyland Pogue, the Iowa catcher, jumping up and down. Wanted that strike 3 call. Something that's probably 50-50, could have gone either way. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here's the changeup, and it's called strike 3. Brianna Vasquez got Kendall Peterson to freeze. And Vasquez gets her second strikeout of the inning. Northwestern plates 1, however. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. And left 1 runner on. We head to the top of the third. Iowa's trailing 1-0. Top of the order due up. You're listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
Top of the third, and due up for the Hawkeyes is the top of the order, and Nia Carter, Tatiana Roman, and Tori Bennett. University of Iowa Healthcare has the game plan for your same-day healthcare needs. If you need treatment for a common illness or minor injury, visit one of several UI Quick Care or Urgent Care locations throughout the Iowa City-Cedar Rapids corridor. Their care and expertise will help you get back in the game. UI Healthcare is proud to sponsor your Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa trails at 1-0 after Northwestern got a 2-out single in the bottom of the second inning to take the 1-0 lead. This year for Iowa, when the opponents score first, it's not a good recipe for success. And they are just 6-20 when the opponent scores their first run of the game. And it's going to be more difficult to come back against the Big Ten regular season champions in Northwestern. Nia Carter will lead off the top of the third. She struck out swinging on a check swing to lead off the game. Shows bunt, first pitch, pulls back, and it's outside. Counts 1-0. Nia Carter, who started the Big Ten season kind of sluggishly, very uncharacteristic for her, but has hit safely in 18 of the last 20 games. This one misses outside, and it's 2-0. Nito re-entered the game for Kendall Peterson, who had pinch hit for her and struck out. Here's a fly ball, shallow left field. Zedak is there, and she makes the catch for out number 1. Nia Carter goes to 0 for 2 on the day. Very uncharacteristic. Tatiana Roman due up. Roman, who was hit by a pitch. A pitch that ran in and just caught the very edge of her jersey. Now, something this Iowa team has done all season long is they attack early in counts. As this one misses outside 1-0. Now, while this is good because that means you're being aggressive at the plate, it also means that the opposing pitcher's pitch count does not get up there. You're not working her very much. As the 1-0 is called strike on the outside corner, 1-1. And pitchers against Iowa are often able to work very deep into games because their pitch counts are often very low. As here's a pop fly, shallow center, drops in safely for a base hit. That'll be a bloop single for Tatiana Roman. Lands right between Schellmeyer, the center fielder, Nelson, the shortstop, and Nito, the second baseman. An off speed that she slaps out into center, is just able to keep her momentum from going all the way forward, and hits it off the end of the bat and just into the lip of the grass. So Roman reaches safely for the second time today. Tori Bennett's due up. Bennett's 0 for 1, flew out to left field. First pitch misses outside on the fastball. Counts 1-0. Again, Tori Bennett had a pair of hits yesterday. Her and Nia Carter, the only Hawkeyes who tallied a multi-hit game. As this one misses outside, 2-0. Bennett drove in a pair of runs in their first round matchup. One of them was the eventual game-winning run on a sacrifice fly in the 6th. She's ahead 2-0 now against Lauren Boyd, and swings on a pitch that was probably a little bit low and out of the zone, and pulls it foul, counts 2-1. Iowa Hawkeyes, Northwestern Wildcats. Second round matchup, quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament. The 2-1 to Tori Bennett. He's on the outer half. Bennett doesn't like it, counts 2-2. Bennett's a player that's always played with her heart on her sleeve, plays with all the emotions that you should. She doesn't agree with something, she's going to let you know it. Not afraid to show how she really feels. And here's a punch out into right field. It's going to drop in fair for a base hit. Roman has to stop at second. But that's back-to-back one-out singles for the Hawkeyes. A pitch that was definitely in the same spot as that last one, but Tori Bennett didn't want to go down looking. Just kind of pokes her bat out at it at the end, and it hits it off the very end of the bat. Nearly no weight into the swing, but gets it to drop in fair down the right field line. And Iowa has 2 on with 1 out. Denali Lecker, their leading RBI batter, is at the plate. She swings first pitch, and a jumping catch at second base by Grace Nito. That would have been an RBI single for Denali Lecker. But Nito, the Northwestern second baseman, jumps and just snow cones this catch at second base. The Hawkeye runners were able to get back. But a couple of impressive defensive plays for Northwestern has kept Iowa off the board thus far. Grace Baines is at the dish and is ahead 1-0. Baines is 1 for 1, has one of the 3 Iowa hits. The other 2 Iowa hits belong to the girls on base. Watches ball 2 miss inside, and the count's 2-0. And ground ball to third base, picked up by the third baseman and Katie, and she steps on the bag for the third and final out. Iowa gets their chances, but they still are yet to score a run. They got no runs, had 2 hits on the inning, but both runners were stranded on base. We head to the bottom of the third. Iowa trails at 1-0. You're listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network.
Hi, Hawkeye fans. My name is Denali.
And I'm Briley, and we're members of your Iowa Hawkeye softball team.
Our team is striving to be number 1.
And that's why we trust our vehicles to Iowa City Tire and Service, the #1 automotive shop in Iowa City.
Where service actually comes first.
Iowa City Tire and Service, where their customers become friends because they treat you like family. Find them at 410 Kirkwood Avenue or online at ictire.com. Proud sponsors of Hawkeye Softball.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/Iowans win.
Bottom of the third, Northwestern leads it 1-0 over the Hawkeyes. Hi, everybody. I'm Lucas Strain. You're listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Top of the order is due up for Northwestern. And what's been a defensive showcase for both teams thus far. Skylar Schellmeyer, diving catch out in center field. Tatiana Roman, a catch slamming into the wall out in center. And now Grace Nito making a leaping catch on the infield, robbing the Hawkeyes of their first run of the game. Skylar Schellmeyer will lead off the bottom of the third. Schellmeyer, who walked on 4 pitches to lead off the bottom of the first. She stole second, but was eventually stranded there as Vasquez got out of the inning. Watches first pitch ball outside. So 5 pitches in, Schellmeyer's yet to see a strike. Swings and misses on this one. Actually just got a foul tip of it, says our home plate umpire. It was a ball that was probably out of the zone. And Schellmeyer's nodding her head, yeah, probably shouldn't have swung at that one. Got a little aggressive. Did the Urbandale native. The 1-1 is outside on the screwball. And it's now 2 balls and 1 strike. Eichelberger Field, Illinois, serving as the hosts in the 2023 Big Ten tournament for softball. Fly ball down the left field line. Klosterman is there. And she makes the catch just in fair territory for the first out on the bottom of the third. Kansas Robinson is due up. Robinson's 0 for 1. Flew out to Tatiana Roman in center field in the first inning. The left-handed batting Robinson watches ball 1 low and in the dirt. Kansas Robinson, the designated player. And a home run earlier this season against the Hawkeyes in that 3-game set in Iowa City. A series in which Northwestern took 2 of 3, but the Hawkeyes stood tough in all 3 of the games. The 1-0 changeup is in the zone. Counts 1-1. They say Iowa hung tough in those games because game 1 of the series went 10 innings. Iowa eventually lost 8-3, but it was a 3-3 game for much of the way. And a couple of Iowa errors in the 10th is what led to those 5 game-winning runs. So one misses outside, checking on the swing. Robinson didn't go around. And it's 2-1. It was a game in game 1 of that series where Iowa left 13 runners on base. Had plenty of opportunities to score, but came up empty. Swinging, missing on the fastball at the lettering is Kansas Robinson. Nice pitch from Brianna Vasquez. Game 2 of that series, Northwestern wins it 5-0. But again, it was all because of Iowa defensive mistakes. Ball 3 misses outside, counts full. But a couple of costly Iowa errors is what led to all 5 of those runs. They might not have all been unearned statistically, but it was mental mistakes, a couple of miscues from the Iowa defense is what led to that loss. And here's a full count pop fly, foul territory. Jackson can't make the play, lands in the Northwestern dugout. And we'll do it again. Iowa, of course, came on to win Game 3 of the series on the walk-off single. Bases loaded, 2 out. Walk-off single for Tristan Doster. Doster, who has the starting catcher for much of the year, has been benched as of late for the likes of Skyland Pogue. The full count changeup misses upstairs. Interesting that Vasquez went to the changeup on that full count pitch. Stayed in the hand just a little too long. It goes high, and that's a 1-out walk. Jordan Rudd's at the plate. Rudd is 0 for 1, lined out. A sharp line drive to Tatiana Roman in center in the first. Watches first pitch fastball. Across waist high. Count is 0-1. See if I can see how many first pitch strikes that Brianna Vasquez has thrown in this game. And there's an 0-1 fastball that catches the outside corner. Pair of nice fastballs from Brianna Vasquez, and she's quickly ahead. 0-2. See what kind of pitch that she wants to go with here. The 0-2, maybe the fastball upstairs. And a swing and a miss. That's the third strikeout of the game for Brianna Vasquez. A good morning, good afternoon, and good night strikeout. 3 pitches in her third strikeout of the game. Hannah Cady, the Northwestern cleanup batter, is due up now. She's 0 for 1. Hit a weak line drive pop-up to shortstop, where Tori Bennett made a nice leaping catch to end the first inning. Screwball misses outside, 1-0. And I've found the stats, but I'll just wait to tell you in a second, as Tatiana Roman will make a catch out in center field at the warning track for out number 3. Tatiana Roman's been busy out in center, but she's made just about every play she's had to. It's the end of the third. Iowa still trails at 1-0. You're listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oaknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Top of the fourth. This game is nearly halfway over already. We're just about an hour into the game after we saw a 45-minute delay, as both of the first 2 games before the Hawks, both of them went into extra innings. Minnesota walking off Ohio State in the bottom of the 8th, and Indiana and Sarah Stone using a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th to defeat Penn State. Due up for the Hawkeyes is 6, 7, and 8. Sammy Diaz, Klosterman, and Jackson. Iowa is out-hitting Northwestern 3-2 thus far in the game. And the problem with Iowa is they've left 5 runners on base after just 3 innings of work. Iowa has 3 hits on the day, but when they have runners on, they're just 1 for 7, have just 1 hit when there's a runner on base. And when they have a runner in scoring position, they are 0 for 4. Sammy Diaz is set to lead off the top of the 4th inning, as Iowa still trails by 1 on the scoreboard. They've had more activity on the bases, but yet to push across that first run. Sammy Diaz walked back in the 2nd inning. Was eventually stranded at second base. The leading walk player on this Iowa team. Has drawn 25, now 26 walks on the year. Which is top 10 in the Big Ten. Would lead every player on both teams on the field in today's game. Lauren Boyd back out to work. Has only thrown 44 pitches thus far. Diaz watches strike one on the fastball, 0-1. I said that this Hawkeye team they like jumping on pitchers early, but again, that's what's led these pitch counts to been kind of low for Northwestern pitching. Line drive, but right at the third baseman and Hannah Katie. Katie takes one step to her right and gloves it. And Sammy Diaz is robbed of a base hit. That's how things have kind of gone late for Diaz. Everything she hits well, he's going to get hot. He's going to get caught. The play is going to get made. But then we saw yesterday she just barely gets one off the end of the bat. And it hits off a player's glove and drops in for an infield single. Sometimes that's just how baseball and softball are played. That's baseball, Susan, as John Sterling, the legendary Yankees broadcaster, would often say. Bradley Klosterman's ahead 1-0. Now check swing ground ball back up the middle. Pitcher comes off the circle to field it, and the throw to first is in time. A really nice defensive play by Lauren Boyd. It was hit just so softly that the catcher and Rudd couldn't come up and make the play. And Boyd had to come sprinting out of the circle to grab it, and then flips it over to first base. And Klosterman is retired. Avery Jackson is due up. She had a sacrifice bunt back in the second inning, was trying to bunt for a hit. Watch a strike one on the inside corner, 0-1. Avery Jackson, who has a pair of bunt singles in each of the last two games for Iowa. The 0-1 runs inside out of the hand of Lauren Boyd. And it's 1-1. This is where I talk about those low pitch counts for pitchers facing the Iowa offense. As there's a swing and a miss from Avery Jackson. The count's 1-2. Both Diaz and Klosterman swinging at just the second pitch they saw. As there was a nice drop ball from Lauren Boyd. Just starts right at the knees and drops out of the zone. Gets Jackson to swing through it. The 1-2 is fouled down the right field line. Jackson stays alive. But so after only 4 pitches in the inning, Lauren Boyd gets the first 2 outs, and that's where I'm talking about the low pitch counts. If she's able to get the outs with that little of pitches, she's going to be able to stay in the game for a long time. Counts 1-2. Jackson's battled well. Chopping ground ball to third base. Katie grabs it on one hop, and the throw across the diamond is made for the third and final out. The Hawks go down in order. We are halfway through this game. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Northwestern's leading 1-0. You're listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/Iowans.
Bottom of the fourth inning, 5-6-7. 2 up for Northwestern. They already lead it 1-0. And it was the bottom of the order that did the damage. scored the only run of the game for Northwestern. Nikki Cochran, her last time up, gave it a ride. And Tatiana Roman made a phenomenal catch out in deep center field, made the catch on the warning track before slamming into the outfield fence. Held on in what was one of the few fantastic defensive plays we've seen so far in this game. But Nikki Cochran will lead it off in the bottom of the fourth inning. When corn grows fuel, Iowans win. Ethanol is a renewable fuel that's better for our environment, our health, and our wallets. Share your winning moments using hashtag IowansWin. Plus, you'll be eligible for some fun, corny giveaways. Iowa back in the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament for the first time since 2018. And for the first time under the helm of head coach Renee Gillespie. Gillespie, a 114 and 112 career record at Iowa. He has led Iowa to 31 wins this year, their most in a long time as a softball program. We're stuck at 30 for quite a while. Ended the regular season on a 4-game losing streak. But upset the 8th-seeded Maryland Terrapins yesterday by a score of 7-1. And look to pull off what would be the upset of the tournament against the top-seeded and regular season champions Northwestern Wildcats. Brianna Vasquez is back out for her 4th inning of work. And swinging first pitch is Cochran and lines one into left field for a base hit. And that's a leadoff single for Nikki Cochran. First pitch fastball that just catches way too much of the plate. A little above the knees, and Cochran goes inside-out approach. Punches it out into left field. And we're going to have a pinch runner over at first base. It's Ayanna Lindsay for Northwestern. Lindsay is at first base. Angela Zedak is at the plate. Zedak's 1 for 1, doubled on a fly ball out to center field that missed being a home run by about 6 inches. However, she did come around to score in the inning on an RBI single from Kelsey Nader. Fouls one into the seats on first pitch, 0-1. Again, talking about Brianna Vasquez and how she's been pumping stuff in for first pitch strikes. She's now faced 15 batters, and has thrown a first pitch strike 70% of the time. Here's a line drive out towards center field. Drops in for a base hit. The throw to third is late. Lindsay slides in. Zedak advances to second on the throw. And Northwestern has runners at second and third and nobody out. A changeup on the outer half of the plate. Angela Zedak just sits back on it and lines it out into center. Tatiana Roman misses the cutoff, and the throw gets all the way to third, and that allows Zedak to advance to second base. Second and third, nobody out. Northwestern's already leading by 1. Both teams are going to take a chance to talk things over. Maeve Nelson is at the plate. Coach Gillespie is the one out there talking to the defense. For much of the year, it was always Mandy Gardner who went out to talk to everybody. But as the season's gone on, I've seen Coach Gillespie's been the one to go out there more and more. She wants to be the one talking everything over with her girls. Want to go through these situations. What are we going to do here if the ball's hit to me here? Where are we going to play? Yada, yada, yada. Maeve Nelson is the batter. She's 0 for 1, struck out looking. Back in the second inning. Runners on second and third. We're trying to see, maybe we're going to see a squeeze situation here from Nelson. Doesn't show bunt. Watches first pitch fastball cross at the knees. Counts 0-1. Northwestern has already left 3 runners on in this game and have a pair of ducks sitting on the pond. The 0-1, it's a curveball that misses outside. I think Poe got crossed up just a little bit, nearly popped out of her glove, but she's able to squeeze it, and the count now moves to 1-1. The Iowa defense is playing in, can't let Northwestern score any more runs and extend their lead. And the 1-1 misses up high for ball 2. Again, first base is open. So a walk is not the worst thing. It puts the force on at any bag. More importantly, it puts the force on at home plate, makes it so it's not a tag play at home. The 2-1 from Vasquez is a changeup that misses low. And it's now 3 balls and 1 strike. Three balls and 1 strike to Maeve Nelson. Vasquez into the motion and the pitch, and it's fouled off over the first base dugout, and the count goes full. Brianna Vasquez looking to get a strikeout, get the first out of the inning, and hopefully get the Hawkeyes out of what's been a bit of a fourth inning jam. Full count. Nobody out, runners on second and third. What kind of pitch is Brianna Vasquez going to go to here? Goes with the fastball upstairs, and Maeve Nelson waves at it. 4th strikeout of the day for Brianna Vasquez, and that one's huge. The senior goes with the fastball and just overpowers Maeve Nelson on one up and in the zone. Nelson just swings right through it. As there's still runners on second and third, but now there's 1 out. Kelsey Nader's at the plate. Nader, who has an RBI single in the game. Watches ball 1. Now watches ball 2. Now it's ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes. And here's a hit into right center field. And this one's going to reach the wall. 2 runs are going to score. Northwestern now takes a 3-0 lead. Nader gets to third base, and she has 3 RBIs on the day. Tatiana Roman gives it a diving chance on the fly ball. It's just out of her reach. But Kelsey Nader gets all the way to third, and it's a 2-run triple. Northwestern now lead it 3-0. A fly ball into right center field on a 3-0 pitch. Kelsey Nader gets her first triple of the season, and it chases Brianna Vasquez out of the game. Northwestern now leads at 3-0. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network.
Hi, Hawkeye fans. My name is Denali.
And I'm Briley, and we're members of your Iowa Hawkeye softball team.
Our team is striving to be number one.
And that's why we trust our vehicles to Iowa City Tire and Service, the #1 automotive shop in Iowa City.
Where service actually comes first.
Iowa City Tire and Service, where their customers become friends because they treat you like family. Find them at 410 Kirkwood Avenue or online at ictire.com. Proud sponsors of Hawkeye Softball.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Jalen Adams is in to pitch for the Hawkeyes. After Northwestern gets a two-run triple off the bat of Kelsey Nader. As Nito shows bunt but pulls it foul. Counts 1-0. Kelsey Nader, now the star in this game, is 2 for 2 at the plate with 3 RBIs, driving in all 3 runs of the game. For Northwestern, they lead it 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. And this one runs inside, nearly hits her, but it hit off the bat. Grace Nino trying to get out of the way, but it comes up and hits off the knob. It hits off the knob of her bat. Goes back and hits the netting. The count's now 0-2. And here's a ground ball to shortstop, and Bennett looks the runner back, now throws to first, and the runner's going to stay at third. Nice play from Tori Bennett, the Iowa shortstop, keeps Nader at third base. Northwestern electing not to go with the contact play. Was waiting to see if the ball went through or not. Nader doesn't advance. 2 outs now, back to the top of the order for Northwestern. Skylar Shellmeyer's 0 for 1. Has walked and flied out. First time facing Jalen Adams. Watches strike 1. Counts 0-1. Jalen Adams was the starter in yesterday's game. But as she threw 104 pitches, Coach Gillespie didn't want to trot her out there to make the start. Instead goes with Brianna Vasquez, who gives up 3 runs in 3 1/3 innings. 2 of them coming in this inning, and is responsible for the runner at third. The changeup drops into the zone, and the count's now 0-2 to Shellmeyer. Into the motion and the pitch. Fastball is way high. Nice stop from Pogue behind the plate. Counts 1-2 to the Northwestern leadoff batter, the leading hitter on this team. Second team All Big Ten. Jalen Adams, freshman honoree. And the curveball runs inside, and the count's 2-2. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There's the runner on third. Northwestern leads it 3-0. The 2-2 from Adams is punched towards left center, but the catch is made by Tori Bennett. The Iowa shortstop. Really nice job there from Jalen Adams. The freshman from Fort Dodge comes in with a runner on third and only 1 out. and limits Northwestern from scoring any more. But a 2-run triple off the bat of Kelsey Nader, and Northwestern leads it 3-0. It's 9-1-2 up for the Hawkeyes in the top of the 5th inning. Skyland Pogue is scheduled to lead off. Don't be surprised if we see a pinch hitter for Pogue, as Coach Gillespie realizes that we need to get runners on. And we need to get runners on right now. Well, Skyland Pogue, not saying she can't, but there are better options on the bench. Be ready to see either Tristan Doster or Emma Henderson serve as a pinch hitter. Iowa trails at 3-0. After Northwestern scores 2 in the bottom of the 4th, and again, it continues to be the bottom of this Northwestern order that's doing all the damage offensively for the Wildcats. Kelsey Nader, the starting right fielder for Northwestern, is 2 for 2 and has driven in all 3 runs. But if there's anyone that you want to be coming up to the plate for Iowa, it's the girl who's scheduled to be batting second in Nia Carter. Nia Carter, who has 94 hits this year, most all time, for a single season in Iowa. Still looking for her first hit today, but has hit safely in 18 of the last 20 games. Is hitting over 500 in that stretch. She was also recently named first team All-Big Ten. And I was correct. We are going to see a pinch hitter in the form of Emma Henderson to lead off the top of the 5th. And she gets hit by the pitch. It comes in and skims her off the forearm. So the pinch hitter works out as Emma Henderson reaches first base to lead off the top of the 5th. She should get ran for. And it's just Pogue re-entering the game. So one of Iowa's top base stealers, and Riley Moss and Haley Down, have not entered the game yet. They are still available. This is just Skyland Pogue re-entering the game. Back to the top of the order, and Nia Carter. First time batting today with runners on. Still looking for her first hit. Shows bunt, gets it down, fair territory, third baseline, and she beats it out. That goes down as a bunt single for Nia Carter, and the tying run is coming to the plate. We see time and time again that Nia Carter just has the ability to bunt the ball just in fair territory and then beat it out for the single. She does this time. And Tatiana Roman is due up. 2 runners on, nobody out. Roman shows bunt. Can't pull it back. She tried to jab at it, but came up empty. Was trying to bunt for a hit, but the count's 0-1. Iowa has left 5 runners on in this game. They've had plenty of chances to score. Have just come up empty. And this one is outside. And the count's 1-1. That Carter bunt single was only the second hit that Iowa has had with runners on base. The 2-0 showing bunt, but pushing it foul is Roman. Now, that's a situation where Tatiana Roman dropped the barrel of the bat to try and get to a pitch on the outside corner. You don't want to drop the barrel of the bat because that's how you pop it up like she just did. You want to just lower the entire thing. Keep the bat head level. And now it's 1-2, and here's a ground ball to shortstop. They're going to throw to third. Is the shortstop in Nelson. And Pogue is out. Goes down as a 6'5 fielder's choice. Cutting down the lead runner. But the Hawkeyes still have runners on first and second with one out. And their 3-hole is at the plate in Torrey Bennett. Bennett is 1 for 2. Had a bloop single down the right field line in the third. Had a pair of hits yesterday. Driving in 2. Watches ball 1 on the fastball, miss inside, 1-0. Torrey Bennett, the freshman from Fort Dodge, was given the very difficult task of playing a Division I starting shortstop as an 18-year-old. She's lived up to it thus far, hitting over 300 on the year. Watches ball 2 on the changeup, miss outside, and is now ahead 2 balls and no strikes. See, Lauren Boyd is getting a little frustrated out on the mound. Iowa finally starting to work Lauren Boyd, not swinging that early in counts, and the 2-0 changeup misses low as well. So now it's 3-0, and we see some action down in the pen, and Danielle Williams for Northwestern. Williams is the lefty, southpaw getting loose down in the Northwestern bullpen. 3-0 to Torrey Bennett, nearly runs in and hits her. But it doesn't matter if it did or not. It's ball 4, a 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded. Iowa using a hit by pitch and a bunt single, and now a 4-pitch walk. About the most Moneyball approach that you can take, and I look at the replay and do think it technically did hit her. But it doesn't matter. It was ball 4 anyway. But the bases are loaded with 1 out. And Denali Lecker is at the plate for Iowa. Lecker, the leading home run hitter for this Iowa team. Nine home runs on the year statistically. Although she did hit another one over the wall 2 weekends ago. She hit a one over the wall where she didn't step on first, so it statistically doesn't count as a home run. Northwestern's not going to make a pitching change. They're going to let Lauren Boyd continue, despite the bases loaded and 1 out. Lecker is 0 for 2. His flight out to right and was robbed of a base hit her last time up. Sent a line drive out towards right field, but a jumping grab from Grace Nito stopped her from getting the base hit. Watches strike 1 on the upper inside corner. Counts 0-1. Lecker, also the leading RBI player on this team. 42 of them on the year. And pulls the 0-1 fastball foul down the third baseline. Do not want to strike out now if you're Denali Lecker. Even if it's getting just 1 run on the board on a sacrifice fly or something like that, that could be huge just for morale. Iowa needs to get at least the 1 run now. Lecker is behind 0-2 as Boyd gets back onto the rubber. Goes into the windup and the pitch. It's pulled outside out of the hand of Lauren Boyd. And it's now 1-2. Go-ahead run is at the plate. Tying run is on base. The 1-2 to Lecker. He is outside. Lecker thought about it, but was able to check her swing. Emma Henderson was a pinch hitter to start out the top of the 5th. Was hit by a pitch. Skyland Poe came back in as a re-entry. And then Nia Carter with a bunt single. And Torrey Bennett with a 4-pitch walk loaded the bases. The 2-2 to Lecker is called strike 3 on the inside corner. Froze Lecker. Did the screwball. She doesn't think it was strike 3, but the umpire rings her up, and the Hawkeyes are in trouble or threatening to strand the bases loaded. Grace Baines looking to be the savior. Watches ball 1 outside, counts 1-2. Or the count is 1-0. She is 1 for 2. Getting ahead of myself. Watches ball 2 miss inside, counts 2-0. As I said, Baines is 1 for 2, singled on a hard ground ball to right field, hit off the diving glove of second baseman Nito. Looking to repeat or have something similar now. The 2-0 is called strike on the inside corner, 2-1. Our home plate umpire really loves that inside corner. The 3-1 to Grace Baines, and she swings at a ball in and on the hands, fouls it over the press box. So the count goes full. Full count, 2 outs. Bases are loaded. Iowa looking to score their first run of the game. Runners will be moving on the pitch. As Boyd calls time and steps off the rubber. Grace Baines looking to come up huge for the Hawkeyes. Full count, 2 outs. And now Grace Baines calls timeout. Lauren Boyd can't get on the same page with her catcher Jordan Rudd as to what pitch they want to throw. Some teams, your pitching coach is the one calling pitches, but Northwestern, it's up to the battery. The full count pitch is spoiled. Nice job by Baines to take a pitch that was pretty borderline. Could have been called either way. Doesn't want to leave it up to the umpire, who's shown that he will expand the zone to call strike 3, like he did just a batter ago in Denali Lecker. The full count, 2-out pitch to Baines is pulled foul. So Grace Baines is hanging tough on a full count pitch, getting ready to see the 8th pitch of the AB. Biggest, most important at-bat of the game thus far. Iowa looking to get on the board. The pitch from Boyd runs low and inside. Grace Baines works the walk, and the Hawkeyes have their first run. They cut the lead to 3-1 as Grace Baines draws an 8-pitch walk. And the tying run is now in scoring position. Sammy Diaz is at the plate. She's 0 for 1, is walked and lined out to third base. Has been struggling as of late, but has always been a good person to have up there in big moments. Swings first pitch and just pulls it foul. And she's smiling down to Coach Gillespie. She knows she just missed that one. Diaz this year with the bases loaded is hitting .500. .315 with runners in scoring position. As I said, a great bat to have up there if you're the Hawkeyes. The pitch from Boyd is outside for ball 1. Counts 1-1. Iowa looking to upset the top-ranked and regular season champions Northwestern Wildcats. A big spot here in the 5th inning could help that cause. And the 1-1 is called strike on the outside corner. I thought it was a little bit outside. But the umpire has definitely expanded the zone as the game's gone on. And the count moves to 1-2. The 1-2 to Diaz is outside. Pretty similar spot, just a couple of inches farther out. But the count now moves to 2-2. Iowa offense really working. Lauren Boyd in this inning talked about how the pitch count has been really low thus far, getting ready to throw her 28th of this fifth frame. The 2-2 to Diaz is fouled off her ankle. And we'll do it again. Iowa has used 3 walks this inning. Or excuse me, 2 walks, a hit by pitch, and a bunt single to get their first run of the game. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. Fly ball shallow left field coming on, and a sliding catch by the left fielder in Zedak will get Northwestern out of the inning. A sliding catch on what was a bloop single off the bat of Sammy Diaz. And Iowa strands the bases loaded. However, they get their first run of the ball game, cut the Northwestern lead to 3-1. As we hit the 5th inning stretch, Iowa trails it. You're listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oaknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Bottom of the 5th inning, Iowa trails at 3-1. Iowa's had plenty of chances to score on the offensive side. However, Iowa has left 8 runners on base, including leaving the bases loaded just a half inning ago. As a team, Iowa is now 0 for 7 on the day when they have runners in scoring position. 0 for 7. They only have 4 hits on the day, have utilized a couple of walks, a couple of hit by pitches. But they just can't push across the runs. Kansas Robinson watches strike 1 to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning out of the hands of Jalen Adams. Adams, who came in relief last inning of Brianna Vasquez. Vasquez, the senior, got the start. Vasquez finished going 3 1/3, giving up 3 runs on 5 hits, striking out 4. Jalen Adams, who started yesterday, gets Robinson to swing through the changeup, and the count's 1-2. Adams yesterday went the complete game, 7 innings, giving up 1 run, but it wasn't earned, and only gave up 3 hits. There was this screwball outside to the left-handed batting Robinson, and the count's 2-2. Reason Adams did not start today is because she threw 104 pitches yesterday. But she's in relief now, trying to keep the Hawkeyes close. This one misses up and outside. Umpire says it missed upstairs, and the count goes full. Robinson, who is the designated player for this Northwestern lineup. Adams into the motion and the pitch. Here's a fly ball towards deep right field. Carter's going back, and she makes the catch on the run. Nice play from Nia Carter out in right field. Couple of feet shy of the wall out in the right corner. But she makes the catch just shy of the warning track to retire Kansas Robinson. Jordan Rudd, the Northwestern catcher, and three-hole batter, will dig into the right-handed batter's box now. Rudd's 0 for 2. Has lined out to center field and struck out swinging. Watches strike one on the off-speed, 0-1. Rudd, who's hitting .312 this year, fouls this one off the netting, 0-2. Now, I've really liked how Jalen Adams has attacked, and even Brianna Vasquez. Both pitchers have attacked this Northwestern lineup. We're just putting everything into the zone, and we're not going to waste time and wait for Northwestern to try and draw walks. Ground ball back up the middle, glove by Adams, who throws over to first base for out number 2. Iowa's done a really good job at keeping the top of the order off the bases in this game. One through 4 in the Northwestern lineup is yet to record a hit. In what is the number 1 scoring offense in the Big Ten this year. Hannah Katie, the cleanup batter, swings first pitch, but lines it right to Tori Bennett at shortstop. So Northwestern goes down in order in the home half of the 5th. Iowa might have just a little bit of momentum now, but they only have 6 outs to work with the rest of the way. Need 2 runs to tie it. 7-8-9. BK Jackson and Pogue 2 up. You're listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network.
Hi, Hawkeye fans. My name is Denali.
And I'm Briley, and we're members of your Iowa Hawkeye softball team.
Our team is striving to be number 1.
And that's why we trust our vehicles to Iowa City Tire and Service, the number 1 automotive shop in Iowa City.
Where service actually comes first.
Iowa City Tire and Service, where their customers become friends because they treat you like family. Find them at 410 Kirkwood Avenue or online at ictire.com. Proud sponsors of Hawkeye Softball.
Klosterman will lead off the top of the 6th inning for Iowa. Klosterman is 0 for 2. Has lined out on what was a diving play from the Northwestern center fielder Skylar Schellmeyer. Had double written all over it. Off the bat of Briley Klosterman. And then she also grounded out on a check swing ground ball back up the middle. So Klosterman still looking for her first hit. Iowa only 4 hits on the day, 3 of them coming from the top 3 spots in the order. At the top of the 6th inning, and we're going to see a pitching change. Lauren Boyd is out. And Danielle Williams, the Northwestern ace, is in relief. Williams, who is named first team for the Big Ten, just picked up her 100th career victory last weekend against Rutgers. The lefty, Danielle Williams, has a 17-1 record, a 2.45 ERA over 117 and a third innings pitched. This is her 29th appearance, 12th time coming out of the bullpen. Gets to deal with the Iowa left fielder, Briley Klosterman, to lead off the top of the 6th, the lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch is a fastball that is inside for ball 1. Lauren Boyd is done, or at least for now, after issuing quite a few walks last inning, including walking in a run. This one is fouled off the leg of the Northwestern Jordan Rudd, and she's clearly in some pain. She is bent over as it hits her. We'll look at the replay where it got her. Oh, it gets her in the stomach. Oh, probably just knocked the wind out of her. She's wearing her chest protector, of course, but it still doesn't feel good when there's a direct shot right off your stomach. Hits you right in the abs. A couple of her teammates are laughing, so we assume she's going to be fine. But just giving her a moment to catch her breath. We've all got the wind knocked out of us at least once in our lives. It's not a fun experience. Now the entire Northwestern defense has come on to join this talk in the pitching circle. Rudd comes back from the dugout, possibly went in to get a drink of water. Gets a nice hand from the Northwestern faithful. And she's back behind the plate and ready to go. The count's 1-1 to BK. BK, who hit a home run against Northwestern in the series in Iowa City earlier this year, watches strike 2 across the inside part of the plate. Shaking her head, she didn't like it. BK taking her time getting back into the box, maybe trying to play some head games. Seemed to have worked, at least for now. This one is outside, out of the hands of Williams, and it's now 2-2. Klosterman looking to serve as a leadoff base runner for the Hawkeyes. Ground ball back up the middle, fielded by the pitcher, who throws over to first base to retire Klosterman, first out of the 6th inning. Avery Jackson is due up for the Hawkeyes. Jackson is 0 for 1. Grounded out to third base and was retired on a sacrifice bunt. Again, she's been bunting for hits as successfully as of late. We'll see if she does again. Does show bunt, gets it down, but it's right back to the pitcher. And Williams picks it up and throws over to the covering Nito. A couple of PFP chances for Danielle Williams. She's now recorded both outs defensively this inning. Skylin Pogue is the scheduled batter for Iowa. Remember, she was pinch hit for earlier, and she's going to get pinch hit for again. So that might do it for Skylin Pogue. Tristan Doster will come into bat. Doster, who has served as the starting catcher for much of the year. The better bat offensively, but Skylin Pogue better on the defensive side. Watches strike 1, counts 0-1. Tristan Doster this year is hitting .308. Had a really strong start to the season, but things have kind of plateaued as things have worn on. Swing and a miss from Doster on a fastball that might have been out of the zone. And she is quickly behind 0-2. Doster is just 4 for her last 23. And watches strike 3 on the curveball, a backdoor curveball out of the hand of Danielle Williams. And she puts on a clinic in the 6th inning. You can see why. Danielle Williams was voted first team All Big Ten. Fields her position twice and then gets a 3-pitch strikeout on the pinch-hitting Doster. Iowa goes down in order. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Hawkeyes trail it 3-1. You're listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
Bottom of the sixth inning, it's 5-6-7 due up for the Wildcats. But again, this is the part of the order that's been scoring all the runs in this game for Northwestern. The top four in the Northwestern lineup are a combined 0 for 10. You take 5 through 8 in the order, and they are 5 for 8. Kelsey Nader is due up fourth. The freshman has driven in all 3 runs this game for the Wildcats. Nikki Cochran is scheduled to lead off. The bottom of the sixth inning. She is 1 for 2. She singled on a line drive into left to lead off the fourth inning. And she was the one who hit that long fly ball out to center where Tatiana Roman made the catch before slamming into the wall. But they are all yet to face Jalen Adams in this game. Adams pumps in strike 1 to Cochran. Counts 0-1. Cochran watches this one miss outside. A little bit up high as well. And it's now 1 ball, 1 strike to the Northwestern first baseman. The 1-1 is lined out towards center field. Roman's at the wall. She slips but makes the catch anyway. Twisting and turning as Tatiana Roman loses her footing and makes the catch as she's fallen to the ground. Tatiana Roman continues to put on a show defensively this year for the Hawkeyes. Overran it just a little bit. Can see her feet give out beneath her. But as she's going to the ground, catches it anyway. And that's the first out of the bottom of the sixth. She is now taken a hit away from Nikki Cochran twice in this game. Angela Zedak is behind 0-1 after the foul ball. While the Iowa offense will sometimes go stagnant, the defense is typically there, and it's almost always there from Tatiana Roman, who is a black hole out in center field. Strike 2 catches the inside corner, and the count's 0-2. Tristan Doster remained in the game for Iowa after pinch hitting. Skyland Pogue's done because she was pinch hit for twice. But Doster is in there catching. It's her first time catching in quite a long time. Check swing foul. Diaz going after it. Can't make the catch. Just out of her reach. And Zedak stays alive. Zedak is 2 for 2. She's doubled out towards center field. Missed a home run by about 6 inches. And also singled on a line drive into center. Has scored twice. Has scored 2 of the 3 runs in this game for the Wildcats. Is behind 0-2 to Adams. And Adams misses outside, and the count's 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to Angela Zedak. Jalen Adams has looked very good coming out of relief. Pop fly on the infield, right to Sammy Diaz at first base, who makes the catch, and there are now 2 gone. Maeve Nelson is at the plate. Nelson is 0 for 2. She's struck out both times. Once looking and once swinging. Jalen Adams, not really a strikeout pitcher. Lets her defense make plays behind her. Throw strike one on the inside corner. 0-1. Jalen Adams has looked very, very good out of the pen thus far. The freshman from Fort Dodge. And this one runs inside and hits her. So just as I say it, and there's the first runner to reach. And it's a hit by pitch for Maeve Nelson. And that brings up Kelsey Nader, who has really been the problem so far. She's been the problem, the one who's driven in all 3 runs for Northwestern in this game. And a 2-out single into right field, and then a 2-run triple into right center. The freshman is facing the Iowa freshman for the first time today. Swinging first pitch, chopping ground ball to Baines at second. Sidearm throw to first, and the out is made. That's the 3rd out of the inning, and Iowa's down to their last chance. Last chance on the season. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Hawkeyes trail it by 2. It's 1, 2, and 3 due up in the Iowa order. It's the exact 3 that you want up there. Nia Carter will lead off. Carter is 1 for 3. We'll take a quick break, and then we will be right back. Can Iowa force it to extras and keep the season alive? You're listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Top of the 7th inning. Iowa trails it by 2. It's top of the order is due up. Nia Carter, who is hitting .477 this year. Iowa fighting for the rest of their season. Carter is 1 for 3. Her one hit was a bunt single. He was back in the 5th inning. Iowa's yet to get a hit since that happened. Entering today, Nia Carter had the all-time career batting average of .414. That ranks number 1 in the history of Iowa softball. 4 points higher than Megan Blank, who graduated from here about 6-7 years ago. Facing Danielle Williams, who only has 1 loss this season, 100 career wins, is a Northwestern Wildcat. Strike 1 is thrown to Nia Carter. Hawkeyes need a base runner. This is the person you want up there. Swings and fouls it off. Fouls it straight back, and the count's now 0-2. Nia Carter, who leads this team in runs scored, batting average, hits, slugging percentage, watches ball 1 outside, 1 and 2. Has the second most RBIs on the team. Has been the MVP of the season. The 1-2 is a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. It stays on the infield, but Carter beats it out. Leadoff single for Nia Carter, tying runs coming to the plate. Off the bat, you knew it was going to stay in the infield. But it didn't matter. Carter runs so hard, so fast, she was going to beat it out no matter what. Leadoff single. Tatiana Roman is coming up to bat for the Hawks. Nobody out, runner on first. Swinging first pitch, punch it the other way. Ground ball to shortstop, throws across the diamond to retire Roman. Northwestern was in a shift, playing everyone on the left side to the slap-hitting Roman. So she grounds into the 6-3 putout. Carter advances to second. But again, her run doesn't matter. The Hawks need 2. Tori Bennett's at the plate. Bennett is 1 for 2. Has singled and walked. 0 home runs on the year. So not a threat to hit the long ball and tie the game. Ball 1 misses outside, 1-0. Had a multi-hit game yesterday. Also drove in 2 runs. Watches this curveball. Cross at the heart of the plate. Taking all the way was Tori Bennett. Counts 1-1. The 1-1 is called strike. They crossed on the black on the outside part of the plate. Bennett shaking her head at it. But I do think that it did cross on the black for strike 2. The count's 1-2. And she fouls this one over the first base dugout. Denali Lecker waits on deck. Lecker, the leading home run hitter on this team, the leading RBI batter on this team. 9 long balls, 42 RBIs. The 1-2 to Tori Bennett. Misses low and in the dirt. And Nia Carter's going to advance to third on the wild pitch. So now there's a runner on third with 1 out. 2-2 count to Tori Bennett. Hawkeyes really need a base hit here. The 2-2 to Bennett. And line drive, but caught by the first baseman. Tori Bennett hit it right on the nose, but right at the first baseman, Nikki Cochran, who was there to make the catch, and there is now 2 outs. Hawkeye's season now falls on the shoulders of Denali Lecker. Lecker, who is the biggest home run threat on this Iowa team. 9 long balls on the year. She represents the game-tying run, watches ball 1 outside, 1-0. The Hawkeyes fighting for their season. The 1-0 to Lecker, and watches the fastball on the outside corner, evens the count. Lecker, who came up in the 5th inning with the bases loaded and 1 out, struck out looking. Iowa eventually did score, but they got just the 1 run. Chase is out of the zone on the fastball. And the count's now 1-2. Iowa a strike away from getting eliminated and watching their season end. Lecker gets back into the box. The 1-2 is punch foul. Down the right field line, staying alive is Denali Lecker. Nia Carter is on third after she led off the top of the 7th with a single, advanced to second on a ground ball from Roman, and got to third on a wild pitch. But again, her run doesn't matter. Hawks trail by 2. One-two count. Lecker gets back into the box. And here's a fly ball towards center field, but Skylar Schellmeyer will make the catch for the 3rd and final out, and that'll be the ball game. Northwestern wins by a score of 3-1, and the Hawkeyes are eliminated in the quarterfinal round. We'll take a break, and then we'll be back to wrap things up with some post-game coverage. You've been listening to Iowa Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
Hi, Hawkeye fans. My name is Denali.
And I'm Briley, and we're members of your Iowa Hawkeye softball team.
Our team is striving to be number one.
And that's why we trust our vehicles to Iowa City Tire and Service, the #1 automotive shop in Iowa City.
Where service actually comes first.
Iowa City Tire and Service, where their customers become friends because they treat you like family. Find them at 410 Kirkwood Avenue or online at ictire.com. Proud sponsors of Hawkeye softball.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Time for our post-game coverage of this edition of Iowa Softball. Iowa loses in the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament by a final score of 3-1 against the Northwestern Wildcats. Iowa pitching did a phenomenal job at limiting the #1 scoring offense in the Big Ten to just 3 runs. But the offense just didn't have it in them today. Scored 7 runs yesterday, only was able to muster up the 1, and the issue comes from their 2-out hitting and hitting with runners in scoring position. As a team, Iowa went 0 for 7 when batting with 2 outs. So every single time a batter came up to the plate with 2 outs, they were retired. The one exception that comes to mind was Grace Baines with her bases loaded 2-out walk. They gave Iowa their only run of the game. But as a team, they went 0 for 7 with 2 outs and went 0 for 9 when they had runners in scoring position. 0 for 9 as a team. The Iowa offense getting just 5 hits on the day, matching the number Northwestern got. And 4 of the 5 hits came from the top 3 in the Iowa order. Nia Carter, 2 for 4. Tatiana Roman, 1 for 3. And Tori Bennett, 1 for 3. Grace Baines also had a hit in the 5 spot. She had a single into right field and also had that walk, that bases-loaded walk that gave them the 1 run. Both defensive put on a clinic in today's game. Tatiana Roman making a couple of phenomenal catches out in center field. But it wasn't enough as Iowa loses 3-1. If we look at our box score on the pitching side of things, Brianna Vasquez, the senior, got the start. She pitched fine. She really did fine up in her first couple of innings. First 3 innings of work, only 1 run crossed against her. But then when she trotted back out there for the 4th, gave up a 2-run triple. And that chased her out of the game. She finishes going 3 1/3, giving up 3 runs on 5 hits, striking out 4. Jalen Adams in relief came on and threw 2 2/3 innings and only allowed 1 runner to reach base against her, and it was on a hit by pitch. But she didn't start after throwing 104 pitches yesterday, going in the complete game. But Jalen Adams in her Big Ten, in her first appearance in the Big Ten tournament, goes 9 2/3 innings total, giving up 0 earned runs. Kelsey Nader was the hero offensively for Northwestern. She had all 3 RBIs in this game. A 2-out single into right, and a 2-run triple in the 4th inning that gave Northwestern a 3-0 lead. Northwestern advances to the semifinal round, their 4th straight season making the semifinal in the Big Ten tournament. They await the winner of the night game between Nebraska and Illinois. Iowa finishes their season with 31 wins, 31-27. Going 11-14 in conference play, 1-1 in the Big Ten tournament. Making it to the quarterfinal round for the first time since 2018 and for the first time under head coach Renee Gillespie. The program itself has definitely started to turn things around, as after winning just 3 games in conference play last year. Nia Carter finishes a historic season with 96 hits, the most hits ever in a single season by an Iowa Hawkeye. Jalen Adams finishes a very impressive freshman campaign. Iowa has a lot to look forward to for next year. Losing a couple of important seniors with Nia Carter and Brianna Vasquez. But a lot of the key pieces are coming back. Iowa offense will need to take some tinkering over the offseason. Have to find some power from somewhere. Can't just keep hitting bloop singles. But it was a very successful season for the Hawkeyes. Not every season is about winning championships. It's about taking steps in the right direction. And that's something Iowa certainly did this season. Again, they lose in the quarterfinal round to the top-seeded and regular season champion Northwestern Wildcats by a final score of 3-1. For the final time in this season, we thank you very much for listening to this edition of Iowa Softball. I'm Lucas Strain, and it's been my pleasure to broadcast every Big Ten game to you this season, no matter what the weather may be, no matter what day of the week it was. I was happy to be broadcasting Iowa Softball to you on the Hawkeye Radio Network. I thank everybody who listened. Thank all my friends and family for how supportive they were over the time. I thank Learfield for giving me this opportunity. I thank head coach Renee Gillespie for all the time she worked with us for our post-game press conference. I thank Leandra, who has been a big help to me as the season's gone on in what was a very fun season in Big Ten play. But again, final score, Northwestern 3, Iowa 1 for the last time. I thank you very much for listening to this edition of Iowa Softball. Wherever you are, have a good night, everybody. And for the last time, as always, go Hawks.
Iowa Hawkeye Softball has been brought to you by Homewood and Home 2 Suites, preferred hotel of the Hawkeye Radio Network, Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association, and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Oak Knoll, an active life care community. University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. And by Iowa City Tire and Service, a proud supporter of Hawkeye Softball. Iowa City Tire, where service actually comes first. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.